Hey guys, it's Tyler, and don't really know what to really say about this vlog per se because I'm honestly trying out like a whole bunch of new things, and especially with a new mic that's kind of sitting here. So I honestly have no idea how it's gonna be used in the future. Besides like all this, but at the same time, I don't really know where to really go off with all this because this whole new setup is still trying to adjust, so it's just gonna take some time. So just try to bear with me, and especially with a new light, gonna try out with this whole new setup. And hopefully my voice will kind of come out a bit more clear with this mic than it was for using the webcams mic. And over the years, I have used a lot of that mic, like for year, maybe 2 years, maybe a bit longer. So I say it'd be a good time now to kind of go ahead and retire that mic and kind of do a bit of a soft upgrade. And so, like I said, don't really know how it's gonna work out, but just kind of just bear with me at the moment. So, um, I'm gonna try to do like a few videos with this kind of setup, see how that works. And then if it doesn't really come out as I thought it would, then I might go back to an old into one of the older routines that I had like when it came down to like the whole setup and not have my desk be more of like such a clutter. And then soon going to be getting a new desk so that way I can maybe expand a bit more and like having like not having much of a clutter. So we're just gonna see how that goes. But until then, we're just gonna try it with this, and if it doesn't work, then we'll go ahead with an old setup. But until we get the new desk, there's gonna be a lot of changes gonna be done. So just kind of bear with me. and a So I figured I'd kind of give you guys that bit of an update, and then with a big happy holidays, though it is very very late. And I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas and your New Year's, as I have officially enjoyed mine. And so it's been a hectic couple years with all everything else that's kind of going on. So it's 2021 and 2020 were the absolute struggles. I will say that they were the struggles. But at the same time, it was kind of more just seeing it was kind of more just seeing like where my limits would be when it came down to doing certain things, and especially if I can even try to keep up with a whole new schedule that's going on with my job and like with everything else that's kind of going on with YouTube and doing all these like little changes that are just like it was nearly up to the point where I wanted to kind of just stop YouTube entirely. And with that set in mind, I didn't really want to like kind of stop with a whole pursuit of a career that I may want to go through with like either just videos or just editing or like anything. So like that was just the kind of pursuit that I really really wanted to go for because of like the amount of as I lived up, excuse me, as I lived through like most of my life with watching a lot of shows and movies and like seeing like how the edits work and like what's seeing like the effects that they use for it. I've been kind of pushing myself a bit more into that kind of curiosity, into kind of like seeing how all these things work. And so when it came down to doing videos like this and doing a lot of using editing softwares, it was just kind of having me understand like how it all goes and like how it all works. So with all that said in mind, I am not going to quit YouTube. That is a promise. I am not going to quit it until I get like older or like start retiring from the whole thing and like just be sure that I was able to kind of fulfill the accomplishments of what I was kind of going through this whole initial phase of like playing these games, following my passion, and like just being all the way through as a gamer, and just kind of showing you my guys from my perspective when it came down to different stories, different campaigns, different stories. And so like that was just the kind of thing that I just wanted to kind of show, help, and like give out as much advice as I can, so that way when you guys go back and you guys are having fun with all these other games that are kind of coming out and you want me to go off and play it and just like kind of see it from my point of view, um I really love like that kind of push to kind of see through that kind of community, and just kind of testing more of like my limits when it came down to the systems of the games, the schematics, and like everything else that kind of goes on with these games and with the story. So like that's just the kind of thing that I really wanted to kind of go through. And so, and as I said, with this new setup, don't know how it's really gonna work. So we're just gonna continue testing it and to see how it works. Just who knows, who knows. Um, but with everything else that I kind of have set in mind, I am just gonna go off with videos. I kind of just play throughout like a single game at a time. So that way I can go ahead and just kind of so I can just focus more on just one game, and then just not and then kind of having that kind of tedious routine where I kind of go back and forth with playing different games, and with that kind of editing, it's been getting a little rough. With that said, when I kind of go through and just play like different games, it's been kind of getting a little hectic. So if I just kind of go through like playing a single game, finishing that up, and then moving on, that is maybe more of a plan that I'm kind of having set in mind and set in motion until I can like get into like a better rhythm of playing different games, and then just kind of have myself set to do other edits with those games. But until then, until I can get like more of a perfection on multitasking with different games, I'm just gonna stick with one and just kind of go through it the best I can, and then just after finishing the campaign and finishing the story of the games, just go in and move on to another and just do like a whole reset and follow that same routine. So we're gonna see how that works. It's just been a little hectic with the holidays and like with a whole plan I had set in motion and just trying to work on. And then when it comes down to like playing other games with friends, um, that is still something in mind that I still would like to work on. Doing other games with friends and just kind of testing out like the limits when it came to multiplayer. So that is still set. I'm not giving up on that idea yet, though I did say in like what was it last month or a couple months back that I would still kind of go through with testing limits on the multiplayers, and just kind of doing it with like other new friends or with like the existing ones that I kind of kind of show up in the videos. Um, I'm still gonna keep up with all that. I'm still gonna go off and continue with all of that, so that way things don't get as boring. Because I know in the earliest year of YouTube, things I did happen to do a lot of boring videos. I'll admit that there was a lot of boring videos that I did where like I had the videos, didn't really have the appropriate like recording like editing software for them, and I was just like, yay, I got an got a recording software. Now I can go ahead and just like follow my passion. But it's knowing that there was a lot more to it, when it came down to first me getting the recording software, I had the lack of appropriate tools to really follow that kind of said passion. And so like I was not a full YouTuber per se. until I got like the more understanding with how everything went and how everything works. So that is just something that I've been meaning and wanting to do for years, and thankfully I've still been getting a lot of support from my family, from Shy, and like from everyone else, including my friends, to kind of continue on with this kind of passion and just like kind of maybe expand a bit more, still play around with them, and just like still do all this. Was just like I couldn't like really call myself as a streamer because I don't really have like the appropriate said materials and equipment. So this is still worth something. I'll say this is still worth something. So I'm expanding slowly, but so with that said and done, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with my work, try out this new setup, and then if that doesn't work out, then I'll have to like test out some other things and just see how that works. So yeah. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you guys for sticking around in this channel for 2022 and see how the new year goes. And don't forget to like, and don't forget to check out the indentations in the previous videos that I made. And thank you again thank you again so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.